All right, we are live in both places at the same time. All right, so let me get the comments going here so I can see what's going on. When you guys come on, can you let me know you can hear me and all that good stuff, and you can see me okay? There's no problems. Jason, what's up? Got the room to myself. Jason was the first one there again. Sup, Shannon. Jason, was I on time? Oh, I was 2 minutes late. Man, I was scrambling around. I had to do bacon wrapped onion rings. Get the pork. I'm doing pork burgers tonight. I'm doing shrimp. I got shrimp on the Beast Impaler skewers. I'm using Fire Therapy's Tranquil. I don't even know if this is available yet. You gotta let me know, Jason, if it is. But it's the first time I'm using it actually. So I'll let you know just what I think. I'm using that on the shrimp. I'm just doing salt, pepper, and garlic on the pork burgers. And what's everybody else cooking tonight? We got Gary Golden, Shannon, Steven, Chaz, Michael. So Eddie Hoare, I saw he posted a burger or something about his burgers tonight. And it made me think of a burger that I wanted to do. And it's really hard to beat Eddie Hoare at his burgers because he's like way up here on his game. But I'm going to give it a little bit of a try. So I got pork burgers, which you don't see very often. I'm going to have, I made a spicy aioli to go on it. I have, I'm going to put arugula on it. I'm going to put avocado, and then I'm going to put some grilled shrimp on it and pepper jack cheese. So, and I got an artesian bun. I'm going to kind of burn that up a little bit and see just how that goes. Jason's doing tri-tips cheesesteaks. Uh-oh. You know that's good. Jennifer Bates, what's going on? Nate Cantu. Dave Morin, what's going on, man? Who else? Michael, what's going on? No problems. Everyone's doing tonight. Yeah, right. How's everybody doing tonight? So, look. Greg, Chad, John, Jason, another Jason, Kenny Franken. Who else? Man, we got a good bit of people over here. All right, and then we got Instagram Live too. Look, I already got the bacon wrapped onion rings. They're not ready yet. I'm gonna set those over here to the back side. They're probably about 10 minutes out, something like that. But you can see these. See, they're very close to getting done. I got the grill going at like 350-ish. I'm gonna throw the pork burgers on. Let me salt and pepper the other side. So I got this. It's salt, pepper, garlic. I've been using this lately. It's good actually. We might even start carrying it on Groby's Foods. Like when you just want salt, pepper, and garlic, you just grab that and throw it on there, and it's good to go. So those are 1/3 pound burgers, so they're going to take a little bit of time. So it's 9:06 now, so I need to make sure I check them in a few minutes. I need to check the bacon wrapped onion rings in a couple minutes. Shannon, what are you up to, buddy? Haven't talked to you in a while. Mark Corbin, what's going on? Mark said something about expanding on Sunday's show thing. No, I do live feeds during the week. This week I've been I'm not going to say slacking. I've been working every night. I actually haven't stopped working since 6 o'clock this morning. So I still got more work to do after this. But we are. Oh, so you can't see what's going on. So it's kind of, how is that? Is that better? Can you see inside now? That's a little bit better. I got to keep that closed for a minute anyway. So, had me a little nighttime, not a nightcap because I ain't going to bed yet. Amanda Shepherd, what's going on? So, does anybody have any questions about anything? You know what's about to come out is our grill brush. Now, I know people are going to say something about the bristles and all that. I'm telling you, I've tested out every kind of brush that every manufacturer makes. I still go back to this brush. The ones that twist around, to me they break faster. We did a poll in our group. More people like the bristle brush than all the other ones combined. So we went with the bristle brush, the same old one that's been around for years. But we made improvements on it. We got a triple head. We made, the bristles are stainless steel. We have a scraper on it. It scrapes flat surfaces, and it has a notch for your grill grate. So, it's got a hanger on it. No, this doesn't have a bottle opener like everything else. I know Jason made a comment about that. He was looking for that, but no, we didn't do it on this one. You never know. Down the road, we might do that, but to get this out now this year, we had to do it like we did it. Oh, Chad, do you know what? I am very happy with my pellet cooker. I have really had no problems with the cooker. I'm not 100% happy with the Pit Pulse pellets, but they do the job. I just don't get a good smoky flavor. That's why I became a lumberjack pellet dealer, because the lumberjack pellets are the best. I actually have my first shipment sitting in Baton Rouge right now. I was going to go and get it today, but it's been raining, and I didn't want to take a chance getting caught in the rain, because it's 2,000 pounds of pellets, and so I need to use a trailer to get them. Man, these things are looking pretty good. I did burn the top just a little bit. There we go. See these? They're good. So when I do mine, I do a double wrap on them. So I mean a double onion. So you have 2 layers of onion, and then you wrap it with the bacon. So these burgers are going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to let the burgers get almost done, and then I'm going to throw the shrimp on and everything else. So the brushes will be available by the end of March. That is pretty definite, give or take a few days, because once it comes in, it's got to get unloaded, and then inventoried and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes it's a little bit longer than what we expect, but they're supposed to ship in like next week. So we will have a few, like a case that's going to be ready right away. So I'm going to have a case shipped directly to me, and then the rest is coming on a truck. And so we might do some kind of special where you get maybe a t-shirt or a hat or an apron or something like that if you are the first people to order. So it's going to be like a really good deal, right? I think the price tag is going to be right about $15-16. But if you're in the first wave that you order in the first couple weeks, I'll hook you up with like a t-shirt or something. That's like getting a free t-shirt. Well, you are getting a free t-shirt, but that's like because the t-shirts are $19. So if you get a free t-shirt, it's that's like a really good deal. John Starskovich, how you doing, man? One cool thing about the onions: use smaller circle in the middle, pair some burger and sausage, then wrap in bacon. It's so cool. I'm not sure if I understand the comment, but my plan is, and it might be what you're talking about, John, is I'm stacking the burger, and then I'm stacking onion rings, and then I'm stacking shrimp. So, and then some arugula, and I know you don't get a lot of crunch from arugula. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing it there for that. You're gonna get crunch out of the everything else. Yep, Are You Hungry shirts, they are not ready yet. One thing at a time, Shannon. One thing at a time, man. Thank you very much, Dave Morin. Jim Crook, can't wait. Yeah, dude. Just keep your eyes out, peeled for it. Really, in just a few weeks, it'll be all ready, and I'll start talking more about them. I've been testing these things out for over a year. I finally threw them all away, but I had a big stack, probably 20 different styles of grill brushes from different factories and all that, and I used the shit out of them. And I've been using this one alone for at least 8 or 9 months, something like that, maybe even longer than that. And it still looks almost brand new, you know. And you can see how the bristles come up on the front and they come up on the back. Then, like I said, you got the scraper, you know. And this thing, it actually works out really good. Like, I mean, you could use this on a flat top. You could use, like our grill grates, they have those long slats or those wide slats. So the scraper really comes in handy for stuff like that. Like I said, I do my onions. I double up. Can you see that? I know the lights. I got lights out here so you can kind of see stuff, but sometimes it puts a glare. And then I double wrap, and then I do the bacon. And when I do my bacon, I wrap it. So you know how you have a meaty side and a fatty side of the bacon. So I make it to where the fatty side is always underneath the meaty side. I don't know if it really matters. I've done these a bunch of times now. And the very first time I did bacon wrapped onion rings, it was a disaster. I used like a couple pounds of bacon. I did my onions where it was just a single layer. And man, I was out there and I made a mess. I still cooked them and they were okay. I mean, bacon and onions, it was always still good. But it wasn't a pretty sight. Like, you can look at this, and I think they look pretty daggone good, right? They look not bad. So my bacon weaves, my bacon wraps, all that kind of stuff has gotten not bad at all. I'm also going to dunk some French fries, and they're going to be ready to dunk here in just a minute. I do my fries like at least 7 to 10 minutes. I like nice crispy French fries. I'm going to actually get those in. I need to check. Hold on, let me move this. What I was saying. So I'm going to read this comment from John. What I was saying was put a smaller onion slice in the center of the bigger slice. Fill the space with. Oh! I know what you're saying. No. I've actually been wanting to do that, John. And I saw somebody do that like a year ago, and I've been wanting to do it, and I forgot about it. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a great idea that you just brought back to my attention, and I'm definitely going to be doing that. So now they put the burger in, and then they wrap the whole thing with bacon. Is that right, John? Or do they take this and fill it, like wrap it with bacon and then put the burger in it? I can't remember which way it was. So you can flip 3 burgers at once with this spatula. I don't know if y'all have tried that or not. Part of my plan was to use my my roaster tonight and do like some Brussels sprouts or something. And I ran out of time, man. I just couldn't get it all together, and so that didn't get done. So anyway, we are going to have some French fries. So I just need to keep an eye on these so I don't burn them. But we want to do at least 7 minutes. So it's 9:17. So about 9:25-ish, something like that. Put these in here. I got this aioli. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for a little bit now, and I got the recipe to this up in the comments. But basically, it's 2/3 mayonnaise. I got in there, it's a tablespoon of spicy mustard, but I put extra. I put like a tablespoon and a half. And then it has like close to a tablespoon of garlic, like crushed or minced garlic. Half a teaspoon of oregano, I think, and a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of salt. And now it called for lemon. I didn't have any lemon, and so I used it called for a half a teaspoon of lemon, so I put a quarter teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in it. And so that's the only spread that I'm putting on the burgers. So have you tried drinking and cooking and going live at the same time? Justin, I do it all the time, my man. I do it all the time. So, what else? Bayou Rick, 9:24. Oh, okay, 9:24. All right. So at 9:24, I'll check the fries, and the burgers should be getting close about that same time. Hopefully, I time this to where it comes out good. So, who all was on the live feed Sunday, Feast with the Beast, with Chef Nino? That dude is off the hook hilarious. I was rolling the whole time, man. I'm telling you. And the whole time, like I met that dude at 7 o'clock in the morning at Rouse's to get all the stuff. And right away, I was laughing. That dude had me laughing the whole time. But it was great having him on. He called me a few hours after the show. And he wants to come back on. He's like, dude, why don't you have me on like once a month? And so, so at this moment, that's kind of what we're thinking. He's going to come back like once a month. And I tell you what, I think everybody learns something off of that show. If you don't learn anything off of any of my shows by myself, you had to have learned something off of that show. Like the pineapple plank salmon, right? Dude, that was a great idea. And you can use that pineapple plank idea for any other kind of meat, especially like pork or chicken. I don't know if I'd use it on beef, but you could. You know, I'd actually what I did with some of the leftovers is when I heated them up the next day, I cut them up a little bit smaller, and I put pineapple and I put that marinade in there in the skillet with the meat, and then I made tacos out of them, and it was like off the chain. It was really, really good. Tons and tons of people just loved that show. I was a little jealous, I have to admit, but I had a great time too. So, you know, hats off to Chef Nino. I don't know if he's out there tonight. I know he had a thing on TV today, and so we'd be more than honored to have him back again. Really would. What else we got? So, I don't know how to pronounce your name, dude. It's ARWEN. Erwin Snow, Wolf Dragon, Stargarden, something like that. All right. David Morin, what condiments are you putting on? So the only thing I'm putting on this burger is on the bottom and the top bun, I'm putting the aioli that I made, and I'm putting arugula on the top and the bottom. Then I'm stacking my burger that's going to have pepper jack cheese. I'm going to put my bacon wrapped onion rings on, and then I'm going to put my grilled shrimp on. As a matter of fact, I need to get my shrimps. My my shrimp on now. And by the way, my shrimp has Jason Willigens. I had one extra shrimp. This one's going to be like one that I eat by itself. Let me see. I think I'm going to... I'm going to put the cheese on in just a second. So I got pepper jack cheese. So like I'm not tossing it up with a bunch of pickles. And usually I do pickles, onions, ketchup, mustard, mayo. And that's kind of like my normal burger. But like I said, I know Eddie Hoare, he rocks it out. So I want to do something that Eddie might do. Like Eddie might do this burger, right? Or Todd Kern, I think, might do this burger too. Because I know he did a really kick-ass burger on the Eddie Hoare Burger Challenge, and he didn't win, but it was mainly because Eddie doesn't like seafood. Oh, so Eddie might not do this one because it has seafood. All right, whatever. I'm still gonna love it. 2 minutes on the fries. I think these are gonna take a little bit longer. Need to put some beast armor on because I gotta flip those skewers. Bayou Rick, Chef Nino only has a personal Facebook page under his name. Oh yeah, so somebody must have asked. Yeah, so Chef Nino really doesn't have much social stuff going on. He has his personal page, and that's it. Yeah, these fries are gonna put me down for another 3 minutes. They're probably gonna take all the way because sometimes this oil is it's not old, but it's not new either. Woo-wee. Man, this looks good. The shrimp look good. I gotta get these buns out, get these ready to go. Larry, I've been told that the Pit Boss doesn't do great for... Who told you that, Larry? As far as flavor goes, as opposed to charcoal. Yeah, so now, so you might have... So here, it's not the grill, it's the pellets, Larry. The pellets that people use aren't doing the job that charcoal can do, and I will agree with you 100% there. But there are pellets out there that do, and they're called lumberjack pellets. Hold on, let me get these buns. I'm getting distracted here. So I got these artesian buns, and we're gonna rock this out. And so these buns are nice. They cook. I'm gonna heat them up. I'm gonna pour that. Watch this. Just watch. Just watch, Larry. Ooh, looky there. Alright, so what I'm going to do, can y'all see inside here? I'm going to try to get this to where you can see. Hopefully you can see. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that there, that there, and pull that bad boy back. So, you see how that plate slides back and it exposes the flame? Let me check these fries. Fries still have a few minutes to go. Hopefully, man, everything's going to be done right about the same time. I couldn't resist. This is perfect. I'm telling you, if you do these, make sure you do double layers of the onions. Alright? I mean, that's in my opinion. You do whatever you want. But after I failed the first time, I did it like that the second time, and it worked out perfect every time. So, hold on. So, ooh. Oh yeah, these are gonna be nice. I think I'll just leave that open just for the rest of it because our shrimp is really pretty much done. I need to make room. All right, that's done. That's done. Let me slide this back. And so I just need to get this, I need to get the aioli. French fries got maybe another minute or two. Get the aioli on here. I gotta work fast now. Alright, so you see I got aioli on the top, the bottom. Throw some arugula on. Arugula. Both the tops and the bottoms. Lettuce doesn't do anything for you anyway, except for add some crunch. Alright, so look at that. You see that little crispy cheese on there? That's gonna be delicious for somebody. Probably me. Up. Can everybody see okay? Oh, you know what I need to do? So, slide these that way. I need to check these fries. We're almost ready to build a burger. Oh yeah, they're done. Perfect. They really are perfect. So we got that. Put the lid back on here. Get some salt on here. Fries a little toss. Alright. So I think I'm going to do some avocado. Onion rings. See, I ate one of them that I should have used. Alright. And then we'll pile shrimp up on it. And then it gets a lid. There we go. That thing is huge. I don't even know if I can get my big mouth around that. But look at that. It's got shrimp. First it's got the bun, the artesian bun, the aioli, the arugula, the pork burger, avocado, bacon wrapped onion rings, grilled shrimp, arugula, aioli, and a bun. So that is it. Oh, and then French fries. A fried egg would top that baby off, wouldn't it? So, turn this thing down. That thing's smoking away. I'm getting smoked out. Okay, yeah, so John said he wanted an update on the cold smoker. So the cold smoker, the first run, it was decent. It worked. But there's like a few issues. Some of them were just like issues to make it easier to assemble, easier to use. And then other issues would just make it work better, right? So they're supposed to have me another sample done in a couple weeks. And then they'll send me that sample and I'll try that out and we'll see if everything works good. If it does, we can go and do a small production, get it out to people, and then we can roll out, you know. So yeah. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to chow down on one of these, and then I'll take pictures of the other one. And my kids are hungry, so they're gonna have to eat. But one of them doesn't eat all the shrimp and all that kind of stuff. But I do. But I'm gonna look at that. See? Now I know there's not like a bunch of pouring cheese all over it, but I like cheese. I don't like cheese like all over everything. I like I'm going to tell you something. Now, the pork burger itself is different. And I've never put seafood on a burger before. But I've had seafood with meat on a plate. So I'm like, it's got to be good. That aioli is really, really good. You don't even want to put ketchup mustard on this bad boy. Especially with the shrimp. The seasoning. Tranquil. I put that on the shrimp. I'm telling you, it is really good. Like, really good. What does it say? You need to burn off that grill. No, actually the grill is actually clean. I just cleaned it right before Sunday's show. But with the pellet grill, every time you change the temperature, it turns on. Even if you turn it down, it turns on. So, that is amazing. So I recommend. What is that? Bayou Rick says, "Don't yuck on someone's." Oh, who said yuck? Did somebody say yuck? I'm telling you. I'm sorry, I'm picking food out of my teeth. I know it's rude. I'd rather pick it out than have you see it. But no, I'm telling you. Somebody's hating on avocados. No, man, avocados are good. And on this, it is amazingly good. Like, really, it is. That burger is, and I know I say this a lot, but that is like one of the best burgers I've had. And it's very simple, right? The shrimp, I'm telling you, this shrimp knocks it out of the park with that Tranquil. Is it the Tranquil? Yeah, Tranquil spice, man, from Jason. Jason, is that seasoning available yet? If it is, man, put a link up to it, man. I'm telling you, that stuff is good. It really is. Like, no bull. So I'll tell you what I do. So, like, Jason doesn't have his seasonings loaded up with a bunch of salt. And I talk about this a lot with a couple. There's a few different spices out there that don't do that. And that's a good thing. See, some people might look at that as, oh, man, I don't want to add salt. But I'm telling you, when you buy seasonings, and seasonings aren't cheap, right? So if they load it up with salt, it costs them hardly anything to make that. Like when you take Jason's and Casa M and a couple others, when you buy their seasonings, you're buying seasoning. You're not buying expensive salt, right? Like, and I'm not going to name any names, but there are a ton of seasoning companies out there. They load their seasonings up with salt and sugar, one or the other or both. So you're just buying a bunch of salt and a bunch of sugar with a little bit of seasoning. Like I was talking to this one guy, because we've been talking to different people trying to get our own spice line up. And we were talking about, I think it was habanero seasoning or something like that. And he told me that this stuff was like $250 a gallon. And he said he looks at like some of the competition and they're selling what's supposed to be habanero seasoning, but they're selling it for $8 for a 12-ounce container. He said it's impossible to have enough habanero that does anything for that price. It's impossible because, it might not be habanero, but it's a similar seasoning. Because it's so expensive, you have to, it's like you need to sell it in a small container because it's not something you want to use a lot. If you get good spices, you don't need a ton, right? And so with Jason's stuff and Casa M, like Jason, some people say it has enough salt. For me, I need like a little bit more salt. So I know this up front. So I add a little bit of salt and then I add Jason's seasoning, right? But I know that that's the way, it's meant to be for me, right? It's not loaded up with salt, and I like that. And same thing with Casa M. They put very little salt in their seasonings. That way you can control how much salt you take, and different people's salt taste on how much salt they want is different for everybody. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take and get another bite of this. So if you haven't done a burger like that, do it. Don't buy the frozen onion rings though. Cut the onions. Like we're supposed to use Vidalia onions. They didn't have it at the grocery store, so I got white onion. The big one. You want big onions. Is Eddie on here? Is Eddie whoring him? I do. I need some floss, man. I got stuff all in my teeth. I'm trying to get it out. So I know, Eddie, I know you don't like seafood, but I'm telling you, this is a kick-ass burger. So if it wasn't for the seafood, I'd put it up running against one of your burgers. Anyway, John Starskovich. Avocado and that lettuce is the food. It's food that food eats. I don't know if I understand that. But anyway, yeah, that's right. Here's the thing. Like regular lettuce doesn't do anything for you, but arugula I think is good for you. So that's one of the reasons I got it. And that is the first time I ever put arugula on a sandwich, ever. So anyway, y'all, do y'all have any questions, any comments, anything to say? Too late, Mom. He's done cooking. I need to pick my teeth, though. Actually, I'm going to finish my burger, eat some French fries. The kids are waiting for me so they can eat. Yeah, so these were pork burgers. Okay, pork burgers. We're actually thinking about putting those on Groby's Foods. I'm telling you, they are good. Now, I tried out the quarter pounders and I tried out the third pounders. These are the third pounders. The third pounders are way better than the quarter pounders, in my opinion. The quarter pounders, it just wasn't quite enough, you know. And it doesn't taste like sausage. It doesn't taste like beef. It's a pork burger. I'm telling you, it's really good. It's different. It's a change. Shannon, is there a challenge? I was thinking about that today. So you know what I need to do? I think I'm going to put a post up in the group, or maybe an admin can if they want to, that we're going to see what type of challenge. We haven't done a challenge since before Christmas. So we do need to get a challenge going. I've just been busy and it slips my mind. Next thing I know, it's the end of the month, right? So let's figure out a challenge and we'll get that rocking. You should have invited Amy over. She is in town. So the burgers that I'm using come from Shoop's. It's Shoop's Farm. They raise pigs and all that kind of stuff. They actually sent me this other thing. It's called a mini hog roast. So they take the white meat section of a hog, they debone it, they season it. I think they season it, and then they wrap it back up and they put it in a net so it doesn't fall apart. And then they send it to you and you can cook it. And they call it a mini hog roast. I'm about to try one out. And actually, she's in town. That I think it's 3 sisters that own the company. Their dad started it years ago. He passed on and left the company to them. They've rebuilt it. They built it up to this really big, successful company, and added some more products, I think. But anyway, they're in town for Mardi Gras, and I was actually trying to get with them. They wanted to go to parades last night, and I was actually just too tired anyway. So it actually worked out. I don't know if they're still going to be in town this weekend, but I'm trying to get with them, to meet with them and kind of hang out, talk, get to know each other a little bit. But they're in town right now. David mentioned the TFL deep fryer. All right, this thing is amazing. It really is. I wish I sold this deep fryer. I wish I made this deep fryer. But so the TFL deep fryer, like, I have avoided deep frying stuff for actually like 2 years because it was such a pain in the butt, right? You deep fry and then the grease sits there, and so what do? You try to store it somewhere and you got to drain it and all that kind of shit. Or you just do deep frying for like a week and wear the grease out so you can throw it away. Well, with this thing, like, I'm going to let this thing cool down, right? Actually, I'm going to turn it off right now. It'll cool down. It'll take like an hour or whatever to cool down. And after it cools down, I flip this switch over to here. Can you see that? Over to the right. And it goes through a filter. It filters all the grease, so there's no particles in there. And it puts it in this little reservoir down at the bottom that I don't know that you can see. Let me tilt that down just a little bit. So it puts it in this little reservoir right here, and then you push the lever over to here, and you slide it out, and you have the grease in this tank, and you put it in your fridge. So it stays good. You don't have to throw it away. You don't have to try to figure out what you're doing with it. You don't have to be all messy with it. And then you just take the pieces out, which is like 2 pieces. You either throw them in the dishwasher or you wash them yourself. I'll wash it myself. And you just put everything away. And so the next time you need it, you pull it out. You pull your grease out of the refrigerator. You pour it in there, and you're ready to go. I'm telling you, this is the most convenient deep fryer. I know it's still grease. Everybody's on the air fryers right now. I was actually going to get an air fryer, but I was just waiting until one that satisfied me on how close it was to doing grease. And I know there's some out there, but they're expensive. But anyway, I chose to get this. I can't even remember what I paid for it, but I tell you what, it was worth every single penny. It was either $70 or $130. I can't remember. It's one of those 2 numbers. I can't remember. But I'll tell you what, man. I couldn't be happier. This is the best deep fryer I've ever had. So I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out. It's been 46 minutes. If everybody has any questions, yeah, exactly, Gary. They are very easy to clean. I'm telling you, this thing is like no hassle. Seriously, no hassle at all. As soon as this cools down, I'm draining it. I'll put the grease away, and like usually what I do is I let it cool down overnight because I don't want to take a chance of it being too hot. So like tomorrow morning, I'll drain the grease. I just like when I come out, I get ready. I just flip the grease switch over and let it drain, and a couple hours later, I'll come in here and I'll take care of it. So Bayou Rick says 89. Shannon says 130. Gary Golden says $99 or less. It's in there somewhere, right? That's a $50 range or $60 range. Or is it 50? $40 range, sorry. Chaz bought an air fryer and he gave it to his son. So does he like it? Is it because you didn't like the air fryer, or is that what you got your son? Right, Jennifer, it filters the grease. I'm telling you, this thing is amazing. I love this thing. And I'm not sure how many times I've used this. And it's still the same grease. And it did those French fries fine, you know. I added grease to it once. You know how grease, it kind of like goes down. So I added like a little bit of grease, like that much grease to it one time. I'll probably use that grease 1 or 2 more times, I'm guessing. But I tell you what, I've already used that grease more times than I've ever used any other grease, because it just keeps it fresher by, I guess, filtering it, and you're keeping it in the refrigerator. It just makes it to where, you know, you can keep using it. So what else we got? Jason, air fry fries, and that's it. Excuse me. Got smoke in my lungs. John Smith said it's $99 at Home Depot. Shannon Castle, 40. Shannon's trying to buy my Rectech that's over there. It's got a problem, Shannon. And I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I just got to put it aside for now. I might use it as a charcoal grill. I might fix it. I don't know what I'm doing. But if I sell it, that means I got to ship it. So you buy it for $50, it's going to cost you that to ship it. It's going to cost you more than that to ship it. You might, if you want a Rectech Bullseye, you might as well just go to Rectech and buy it for $300, man. You get a brand new one. Rick says it has to be the TFL 8000 for the oil recovery system. I'm glad you said that, Rick. I never thought about calling it that. The oil recovery system. That sounds impressive too. John, that's right. I've talked to John about air fryers before, and John likes his air fryer. He did some egg rolls the other day. They came out perfect. Really good for appetizers too. Reheating fry. Oh, who was it? Was it Gary? It was somebody who bought boudin and crawfish pies from Groby's Foods, and I talked to him. He lives in North Carolina. I can't remember his name. He might even be on here. But he took and he put a crawfish pie in there and did his crawfish pie in the air fryer. I was pretty impressed with that. And instead of like in the oven, a crawfish pie takes like 30 minutes in the oven at 350. He said he did his crawfish pie in 12 minutes in the air fryer. So I could see that being really handy, right? Jennifer says he has to come visit. I'm not sure. Jason, a rec tech. But see, that rec tech that I have, there's an issue. It caught on fire twice. So I'm not sure what's wrong with it. I don't know. The fire backed up into the hopper. So I'm not sure what happened to it. Dave, I work for UPS. Oh, corporate and shipping freight and ground. Well, Steven, can we just say all of my shipments are your shipments, and then you can hook me up with all free shipping? I'll give you all free stuff. I'm just saying, it's an idea, right? It's an idea. I mean, I could just maybe give you half the shipping costs. I mean, that could be good money, man. I'm playing, dude. I'm playing. What else we got? All right, look, that's pretty much it, man. I gotta cut out of here. Kids are like starving by now, and I still gotta take pictures. So, peace out. Glad y'all hung out with me for almost an hour, and 52 minutes. And y'all have a great night. All right. Talk to y'all later.